Hi, Abananas, Hadi, Dahuja. My name is Carlin Haines. I'm from Estela First Nation. What is reconciliation to me? It's relationship building. I want to form relationships with the communities I work with and non-Indigenous groups that help me find the training for the communities. To do that, I know I need to actively listen to the communities to find out what their needs are, what their priorities are, and what do they value. But I believe it's a bridge to connecting them to self-sufficiency and sustainability. It's either education or pursuing trades. Everyone's got a different personality.
Some go into trades, right?
Some go into trades. I really love trades. I want to encourage trades. That's an awesome role, I think. When they become apprentice level 1, they'll receive wages higher than minimum wage, and that will lead to sustainability. They can be a red seal in 4 years, which is not a long time, and it's meaningful work. The community also benefits because they'll have more skilled workers in community. So I can't say enough about trades. I'm trying to include introduction trades to my programs and to help them get engaged and participate in the pre-employment supports program.
Howdy, my name is Ruby Baptiste. I'm a Wet'suwet'en grandmother, mother, auntie, sister, cousin. I come from Jean Baptiste Reserve in BC. And I'm here talking about reconciliation today because it's very important to me. It brings truth that genocide happened to our Indigenous people by in different forms of losing our language, our traditions, and our cultures. As a person who doesn't speak my language fluently, it worries me that my children and grandchildren will not either. Reconciliation is making a shift. Our children, my grandchildren, they're being taught First Nations culture and language in our schools, our daycares, and even in our universities today. Are also having conversations in workplaces about reconciliation and what we can do to improve that. On a positive note, I see that shift happening more and more every day with more and more people. And I think we can continue that work by connecting with other people, Indigenous and non-Indigenous, sharing our culture, our language, our traditions. Everybody can take part in this. Everybody can participate by attending events on June 21st in your community or on September 30th. Put on your orange shirt and Every Child Matters and celebrate with your community and share your knowledge.
Toisinitsum. I'm from the House of Lickpajiwasum, Gordon Sebastian in the Hazelton Territory. My name is Bernice Provencal. I'm a mother and a grandmother. I'd like to say something about my thought on reconciliation. I feel that when I think about reconciliation, I think of a meeting of people and minds of different cultures, not just our own native culture, but the ones around the world, and being able to sit and listen intently, listening with the idea of learning from that person, as well as understanding that even the forefathers, whoever they were, only knew what they knew, and that if they were here today, they may want to change that viewpoint of ownership and respecting our land. But since that didn't happen, I think that we all have to gather in different segments. Like I always thought of it as a broken vase, completely smashed and then put together more beautiful. And that's building our nation up together, and to speak to one another and to get our relationship to a better place than it probably ever was. And I think that's a beautiful thing with all the different cultures, the different people, and that's my idea of reconciliation, is reconciling so that we can smile at one another and respect one another again. My whole thought on reconciliation beginnings should be right in your home, because I believe that we should have the mindset of reconciling. We will always be the imperfect and fractured people worldwide, and I think that we should be able to settle our problems by listening intently, and then from there I think we would branch out into our community, our clans, because they also need to be reconciled to one another, even in the same house. And we should forgive each other, knowing that we're all imperfect and that we only know what we know. And from there I think that we could branch out to other communities. And I do love the thought of reaching out to the different cultural natives, and not just that, but to other countries like Kenya, like Nigeria. And I think that we have to get to know each other better and understand each other better to be able to get along and respect one another. Amayani is Nisam, we are in Nisam.
Hi, my name's Curtis, and I'm part of the Claytley Tene Indigenous community in Prince George. I was adopted out when I was 1.5 years old, and I'm back to help my community. They just want to have traditions acknowledged so that they can see where their roots are and where they can be in the future, finding their selves in their history. Trains do play a historical significance to the Claytley Tene people, because they wanted to have that space available for transiting goods across Canada. They not only disacknowledged history, they burned the village. Our history contains that, but also other beautiful parts. The fact that we're still here in abundance. Something in our celestial history means that we need to remain. We're here for a reason. I'm just here to try to figure out what that is and share that with our people.
Zimgiget. I'm Pamela Morgan. I'm from the Gitxsan Nation. I'm a mother of 3 beautiful daughters. When I think of reconciliation, I think of it as a journey. Like healing, there's no end. Growing up without our dad, the late Andy Morgan, was very lonely. This caused us to avoid going home. In 2022, I was brave and I went home to harvest fish. I asked my friends for help because I wasn't super familiar with the process. I'm standing there by the river and I can hear the river flowing. The air is clean and warm, and I feel at peace and I feel calm. And since then, I've known that doing cultural activities was healing and comforting, but it also strengthened my sense of identity, something that was missing my whole life up until now. So my vision is to uplift Indigenous culture, and that is by teaching and by sharing videos online and uplifting Indigenous artists, artisans, musicians, performers. If I could give a message to my younger self, it would be that it's going to be okay.